What is up, guys? Bradman here, bringing you guys your OBA Season 3 Week 6 match against the Los Angeles Lucarios, coached by John, too. I am your coach, the Grass Plains Raikous. If you guys are hyped for this match, feel free to drop a like down below and subscribe as well. I might have to hop into this match pretty quickly here because it's a pretty long match, kind of stally, as you guys can see. Gonna go over my sets really quick here. I thought my opponent was gonna bring a few different mons. I predicted the Raikou to come. I predicted Mega Blastoise. I also predicted the Latias because Latias puts in a lot of work. Wasn't quite sure about Salamence, but he actually ends up bringing it anyways. I actually predicted him to actually bring the Aromatisse or the what was it? The not Leafeon, the Virizion. Instead, but he actually brings Umbreon and Golurk, which I wasn't really too worried about. Umbreon, mostly a Stalymon, wasn't going to be able to touch most of my mons anyways, unless it has like Toxic or something, but just going to go over my sets really quick so we can hop into this match. Booty Hunter, the Mega Absol this week, packing the Pursuit, Sucker Punch, Mega Horn, and the Play Rough. Play Rough mainly for the Dragon types, like Salamence on Switch and stuff like that. Was debating the Ice Beam, but Play Rough did do more since I'm invested in attack, max speed, naughty nature. Pursuit Trap, pretty much either the Golurk if he brought it, or mainly the Latias, and possibly the Raikou on a Volt Switch if I really needed to, or something like that, or any switches I predicted. The Mega Horn, basically just to hit something for super effective damage. It does more than Play Rough to the Umbreon, which was mainly the thing why I really brought it, if he did bring the Umbreon, which he does. And also, maybe if I have to predict one of the Latias or something on a switch in, get some huge damage off. Sucker Punch, again, no-brainer. Bringing Trumpet Prez, the Swallow, kind of a predictable set like usual, but it does its job very good. Protect, Brave Bird, Facade, and the U-Turn with the Flame Orb, max attack, max speed. I think it's jolly. Switch defensive Chansey with the Eviolite, running Toxic, because I knew I couldn't use Toxic in this match, just because he has a lot of stalling mons, and I really didn't have much to hit him very, very hard, so Toxic was going to be one of the things that he really used in this match to stall a lot of his mons, more of his bulky mons out. Mainly the Mega Blastoise is what it was for, and possibly like bulky Raikou or Calm Mind Raikou, which he has been bringing in the last few weeks, which I was also prepared for as well. Aromatherapy, mainly just because if he wants to burn with Scald or Toxic from Umbreon or something like that of that nature. Seismitoss and Soft Boiled. Bringing Trick, Cresselia this week, September. This kind of does screw me over in this match, as you guys will see in a little bit, but I'm actually running Trick Choice Specs. Thunder Wave, mainly for speed control on mainly like more of the Salamence, and if you want to bring Latias. He also had a few other things like the Virizion, which I wanted to like kind of Thunder Wave. I know you can at least eat one hit or something from it, so Thunder Wave, Moonlight, Psychic, and the Trick. Bringing AJ Styles, the Arcanine, Intimidate, with pretty much the same set as ran last week. There really was no reason to really change the set. Willow, Wild Charge, mainly hit the Blastoise, and neutral damage on a lot of his mons. The Will-O-Wisp, just because if you want to set up on me, and more for residual damage, which is something I really needed, mainly for the Escavalier as well. Probably my primary Escavalier counter, because I kind of predicted to actually bring it, just for the Cresselia. So that's why I brought the Arcanine, running Leftovers as well, just to get some more health back for the Flare Blitz and Wild Charge Recoil. In the Morning Sun. Bringing Jizz Bucket, the Skarmory, max defense, max HP. Running no Whirlwind this week, which was one of the things I was questioning on the back of my head. If he sets up with the Salamence or the Latias, Calm Mind Latias, or something of that nature. He also had Swords Dance. What was it? Virizion. He also could have brought no Whirlwind, so I took a big risk. I actually brought these Spikes, Stealth Rock, Aerial Ace, mainly for Virizion, and to hit stuff for decent damage, I guess. And the Roost. So we're gonna hop into this. This is kind of a long battle, guys. So I do apologize if it's a bit longer battle, but kind of stally here. A lot of good plays by my opponent as well as myself. Really didn't prepare really the best this week. I had a few matches with the team just to get a little bit familiar, but I really didn't prepare like the best because really didn't have too much time. I had my match on Sunday, which is usually over the weekend where I prepare for my next week's battle. So I really only prepared in like 2 days here. So had a few matches just to get familiar with this team. I'm gonna leave with my Booty Hunter, the Mega Absol. Switch out here. Gonna go right on to Chansey because I know Blastoise cannot do anything to Chansey. Even if he wants to go for Aura Sphere, it doesn't do nothing. He gets the burn right here. First turn burn, so pretty lucky by my opponent right there. Not really a big deal because I have the Aromatherapy and the Natural Cure, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Gonna go right out into the Umbreon here. Gonna go for the Toxic. I actually missed my Toxic, which is huge. I don't know, this Chansey cannot seem to land Toxics. Kind of a blind Chansey. I don't know if I need to get this thing some specs or some glasses or what, but gonna go out into the Skarmory here. Umbreon really can't touch Skarmory. I was predicting either a Toxic or something like that, maybe a Foul Play. Gonna switch out here again. Predicting him actually go out into the Blastoise or something like that. He actually goes Baton Pass here, so good play by my opponent actually carrying Baton Pass Umbreon. Did not expect that. Even though it was kind of, he could have brought it, but I really didn't prepare for it very much because it was kind of on the back burner. He's going to go out to Golurk, which I really didn't, in the team builder, I was for building the team, I really didn't consider Golurk really a big threat because he gets pretty much countered by Mega Absol. But this thing actually gives me a shitload of trouble in this match. I don't know, maybe I didn't prepare good enough for this thing, but I really had nothing outside of Mega Absol to really hit this thing for super effective. I mean, Willow from Arcanine was probably the best thing, and maybe a Flare Blitz hit it super hard. That was probably the best thing. He actually carries very, very good coverage as well. I'm assuming this is Iron Fist. Iron Fist with Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, I'm guessing a Shadow Punch, and maybe an EQ at this point in the match. Wasn't quite sure if he was actually Expert Belt. From that damage, I wasn't quite sure. So he could possibly be Expert Belt or Leftovers, I do not know right now. He actually goes for the Earthquake there, predicting Roost, so I made a good play there, going right out into Cresselia. Gonna go for the Trick here. Now this is where Trick really screws me over, makes my Cresselia pretty much useless in this match. He actually has Assault Vest, so now I have no way to Thunder Wave things or actually gain my health back with Moonlight. Basically, Cresselia is the only thing that can come in and hit something with like a Psychic, but with the Umbreon being there and the Latias being there, Cresselia is pretty much useless at this point. So basically the only reason why I did keep it around at this point in the match was to take Raikous from the Latias. Because I know I can switch in at least 3 times and take a Draco, depending on his spread. So that's really the only reason why I kept the Cresselia around in that point of the match. Otherwise, it was kind of set up bait as well, so I had to pretty much keep on my toes in case I brought it in. He actually brought something out to possibly set up on me, because there's no way I can really touch him, especially if it's like a setup Latias or something. He's gonna go make the double here, out into the Latias. I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp here. Just to get some residual damage on the Umbreon, which is what I wanted, and the Synchronize does not affect me, so that was pretty much a win-win play for me right there. He does bring out the Latias. Now right here is where I'm going to go into Cresselia, because I know I can at least take 3 Dracos, depending on his set. Going to go to September here. Draco really doesn't do too much. I'm actually max HP, slightly invested in defense and special defense on this set, so for not being in max special defense, that does absolutely nothing. So I can at least keep this thing around for like 1 or 2 more times to at least take Dracos, or I can always use it as a sack as well, which is something I want to keep around. Basically the only use for Cresselia, because Assault Vest Cresselia does nothing in this match for me. It's actually going to go out into the Blastoise here, possibly trying to Rapid Spin. I'm actually going to predict either the Raikou or the Salamence to come out right here. I think with the Raikou or the Umbreon. I'm not quite sure if I predict the Salamence, but I'm going to go for the Toxic right here. I land the Toxic, which is nice, so I can at least get some residual damage on this thing. Seismic Toss wasn't really going to be doing too much anyways, so he's going to Rapid Spin here. There was nothing I can really do about Rapid Spinning. I still have my Skarmory around, so I can always set up my rocks again. I really just wanted to get the damage off on this thing, because I know this thing has no recovery, outside of Wish Passing, I guess, but slowly getting this thing dwindled down. So if I can get my spikes up, maybe a few layers of spikes and rocks, I can pretty much have this thing gone. It really isn't that big of a threat to my team. He actually brings out the Umbreon here on the Soft Boil. It's a good play by my opponent. My opponent actually doesn't even bring the Volcanion, which was one of the other things I actually was predicting to, with the Water Absorb, to pretty much counter my Manaphy, which I did not bring this week just because of the Virizion. But really surprised my opponent did not bring the Volcanion. Really surprised by that. Maybe it's because he gets walled by Chansey, I'm not quite sure, or maybe Cresselia. I'm not quite sure why I didn't bring it, but I'm gonna go for the Toxic there. Synchronize is gonna hit me with a Toxic myself, but I'm not really too worried about it. Again, I have Natural Cure and the Aromatherapy, so I'm not too worried about it. It all comes down if he has Heal Bell or not, which I'm assuming he does. We only saw 2 moves so far, the Wish and Baton Pass. Possibility of probably Foul Play and Heal Bell, which he does reveal right here. I was like, oh shit, now he gets rid of the Willow, he gets rid of the Toxic on his Blastoise. This match is going to come down to a very solid match at this point, I'm thinking. So, just wanted to get some damage off right here. Going to stay in. Foul Play really didn't do too much to me anyways, because I have like base 5 attack, so wasn't going to be doing too much. I'm going to switch out here right here. Gonna go right out into the Jizz bucket, just because he cannot touch me whatsoever. Even if Foul Play isn't gonna be doing too much. Not invested in attack. I'm HP and defense invested. So, I'm gonna set my rocks here again. Really just because I wanted some damage on the Salamence, and mainly the Raikou, which can Volt Switch around and stuff like that as well. He's gonna Baton Pass here, so at least I know my Skarmory actually outspeeds the Umbreon, which is nice. He's going to go to Salamence here, pass the Wish to his Salamence, which does kind of suck because it gets in for free. I'm going to bait the either the Flamethrower or the Fire Blast right here and go out to Arcanine. At -1, he cannot touch me even with an Earthquake. I should still be able to live and get a Willow off. So, I'm going to go to AJ Styles here, just to get possibly a Willow off and stuff like that. Maybe hit this thing for some decent damage with Wild Charge. Even though Wild Charge really didn't do too much to this thing. He actually shows the Fire Blast, so we know he has actually Fire Blast for Skarmory. So that's something I have to look out for. Right here he actually outspeeds, so I really couldn't hit a Willow here. He's like going to switch out, so I actually really wasn't quite sure what I should do here. So he's actually going to go into Umbreon here, which good play by my opponent. Actually going out into the Umbreon. Take a big risk here. I was able to live with Earthquake from the range I was at, so that's why I did go for the Willow right here. Synchronize, again, doesn't hit me, so at least we got a free Willow on this Umbreon. At least get a little bit of chip damage before he Heal Bells. Really not going to be doing too much with the leftovers and the Wish recovery, but damage is damage. Now right here I actually go for the Flare Blitz, just testing whether, I do apologize if it's background noise, guys. Actually just testing water, see how much it actually does. It does pretty much like around about 45 to like 50%, I think. He actually sets up a Wish here, so if he actually stays in, he actually ends up risking his Umbreon to go down right here. So I actually predicted him actually go out into Blastoise here, so that's why I actually go for the Wild Charge. And from this range, I should be able to kill with a Wild Charge. It's kind of a close roll, but I should be able to kill it with a Wild Charge if he did stay in. He does go into Salamence here, so this can be a neutral hit. Was hoping to take down at least a little bit more, but I'm not quite sure. I think I got a low roll right there as well. So the Salamence here is going to be a little bit of a problem here, because right now I was kind of assuming you used either maybe Scarf or something, the way you actually brought it in with the Fire Blast or the switched out afterwards. He actually sets up Dragon Dance right here, so this is a big problem right here. Dragon Dance Salamence can pretty much sweep my team from right now. I have no counter to this. I guess Cresselia, but Cresselia is pretty much dead, and because it has Assault Vest now, so it's pretty much just dead meat. And if I bring it in, he's going to set more Dragon Dances as well. I'm going to go into Arcanine here, make a pretty aggressive play, just to get his attack down to -1 again. He does go with Fire Blast, so I'm able to eat that at least. Was going to go for the Willow right here, actually. However, he actually carries the Earthquake, so I do not live an Earthquake from this range, which is a bit unfortunate, even though he's at neutral. But had to sack something to this thing. I guess Arcanine's going down a bit early, even though I could use Arcanine to really hit the Umbreon and the Raikou very hard at this point in the match as well. Gonna go out into the Swellow right here. Now, my play was either he's gonna Dragon Dance right here. It was a 50-50 right here. Either he predicts my Protect and goes for a Dragon Dance, or he just goes straight up for the Fire Blast or the Dragon Claw, whatever he has. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird. just to get this thing into Sucker Punch range. That's really the only thing I really needed at this point, was to get this element into Sucker Punch range. My Swellow was pretty much dead meat at this point as well. At +2, he does outspeeding no matter what. He actually locks himself into Earth or Outrage right here, which is actually best case scenario, because that means my Sucker Punch is guaranteed to actually land on this thing. So he is at +2 now, so it is a bit threatening here. But Sucker Punch does 70 to 80% right now, so I just need a little bit of chip damage, which Swellow did do in this match for me. So able to come in with Booty Hunter right here and actually Mega Evolve and go for that Sucker Punch and take this thing out to prevent a sweep. So Abs will come in very, very clutch here with the Sucker Punch, so props to Booty Hunter. Could take the settlements out, so that is a huge threat off my opponent's side as well. And a little bit more safer for my Skarmory to come in now without having the threat of Fire Blast looming. So he's going to go to Raikou here. I was actually predicting this thing to be Scarfed the way he brought it in. Possibly Scarfed or maybe Specs. So I went out to chance he made the safe play right here. He actually has to go for the Thunderbolt. So it is not Specs. So at least I know that it ain't Specs, and he actually is the leftovers right here, which we do see. He's going to switch out right here. I'm going to go out into the Umbreon, which I actually predicted either the Umbreon or the Golurk to come in. If the Golurk came in, I can go right out into Skarmory. Wasn't too worried about it. I'm going to go for Seismic Toss here. Get rid of this Umbreon. No more Wishes, no more Heal Bell, so as long as I can get a few Toxics off, we can eventually window his team down with the Stealth Rock and the Spikes, if I can get those up as well. Now he's going to go right out here into his Golurk with, it is Choice Specs, so my opponent does make a good play here and actually predicts my Skarmory to come out right here. Thunder Punch really doesn't do the most damage, since I am defensive, but he makes a good play and actually goes for the Thunder Punch right here. Does around about 35 to like 45%, I think. So that's if he's. I'm not quite sure if he was Iron Fist, how much it would do, but it's pretty much a stally right here. It's pretty much getting really, really stally. There's really no thing that really can go out into here. I can go out into Cresselia, but then I have nothing to come in on Raikous, which is something I needed to keep around. Could go into Absol, but Thunder Punch did around about 55 to like 65%. If he was max attack, adamant. So again, cannot go into Absol. I really need to keep that thing as full health. Pretty much kind of stall here. It's just basically Roost, get up my spikes and get as much damage off with the Aerial Ace right here. That's basically all these next few turns are. Just get as much damage off with Aerial Ace and get the spikes up. My opponent's actually letting me get all the spikes up as well, which I was very, very surprised by. If I were my opponent, I actually would have, once he started seeing me set my spikes, I would have went out right into Raikou, put on the pressure. That's what if I would have did if it was my opponent. But he's actually probably trying to sack this thing. I'm not quite sure if he's trying to sack his Golurk at this point, or trying to learn my full move set. But I do not have Whirlwind on the set, which I'm pretty sure he knows by now. Again, I'm going to continue roosting here. Surprisingly, it goes super long without getting a crit or a para from the Thunder Punches. Guess I do get a little bit lucky there, but my opponent did get lucky on first turn burn with the Chansey in the beginning of the match, so I guess a little bit of payback in the RNG department. Again, I really didn't think this Golurk was going to be this much of a threat, but I really had nothing that really wants to come in on this thing. At this point, I have Chansey, Cresselia, and Mega Absol left. Nothing that really wants to come in on this thing and take hits. So I really just have to come in here and pretty much just roost stall this thing out and get as much damage as I can to bring it down to Sucker Punch range. So Sucker Punch at this range did not guarantee a kill, depending if he was max HP, which I'm assuming he was if he was actually Assault Vested. So I need to at least get a little bit of damage off on this thing. Sucker Punch did around about, I think, like 80. He did around like 80 to like 85%, which he isn't at right now. So I still need to get him a little bit lower to guarantee the kill with the Sucker Punch. So again, kind of self-explanatory right here. Actually get a critical hit right there, which I guess does matter, but again, I was going down either way. Eventually, my opponent actually ends up getting the paralysis here. I think it's on the next few turns. He actually ends up getting the para and the crit, which actually is well deserved because at this point he has not get a crit or a para. So I guess it's well deserved eventually for him. He does get the para right here, which sucks because now I do not outspeed this thing, and I'm not able to get a roost off. So again, you're going to go for the aerial just to get some damage on this thing. At this point, Sucker Punch kills no matter what, but I have no switch into this thing. And at this point, I really don't need Skarmory. All he has left is the Latios, the Raikou, and the Mega Blastoise, which Skarmory does really nothing to them anyways. I got my spikes up, I got my rocks up. Blastoise is pretty much dead on entry now with 3 layers of spikes and these stealth rocks. Mega Absol pretty much just cleans up the game here with Sucker Punch. Basically, really cleans up the game. That's all I really do with Mega Absol right here, cleaning up the game. Mega Absol finally putting in some work. Has been out a few weeks now. He's coming back. He's coming back and actually putting in a few work. He's been on unemployment, been on the bench. Coming back, bringing a vengeance, cleaning up this match. He actually has Colbur, Latios, but I did calc it and it still did more than 50%. So Colbur Berry didn't save him right there. Also was debating whether to switch out on that turn, just because of the possibility to roost, or maybe a Calm Mind right there. But I took the risk, went for the Sucker Punch, and it paid off. At this point, his Blastoise is pretty much dead, which can actually be killed by Chansey. I'm going to keep my Absol around, just in case I need to keep it around for the Mega Blastoise. And possibly if this thing is possibly a setup variant, which it actually is. So, would have stayed in there, went for the Sucker Punch, he actually would have got free +1/+1 on me, so... again, a little bit stalled here. My opponent has to go. My opponent pretty much has to do this at this point. That's the only way he can possibly win is to set up with his Raikou. But I have the best Calm Mind Raikou counter right here in Chansey, so I wasn't really too worried about this. I know he actually did sweep. I think he swept like 1 or 2 teams with this kind of set a few weeks back. I think it was I think he swept one of the other coaches' teams with this. I'm not quite sure who it was, I actually forgot, but just going to go for the Seismic Toss right here. I could have went for the Toxic, but I just wanted to get the damage off. At this point, it's pretty much GG, barring any hacks or crits, I guess. Even if it did get a crit from this range, it would not have killed me, so... And again, if he got a crit right there, it would not have killed me as well. At this point, I actually take a really big risk here. If he actually got a high roll, he actually possibility would have killed me, but it really didn't matter at this point. If he had Aura Sphere and actually get a high roll, it could have killed me, but I had the Mega Absol in the back, plus the Cresselia, which can come in and actually pretty much kill it with a Psychic if it's this low. So, he's going to go for the Aura Sphere. I'm living on 23. Chansey not going down to nothing in this match. Chansey put in so much work in this match. Countering the Raikou, countering a shitload of Mons, countering the Mega Blastoise, countering Latios if I needed it to. And we actually pick up a 3-0 win, guys. So that's very nice. It's not a 6-0, but a 3-0 win. Still a good win. If you guys enjoy this, feel free to drop a like down below. And if you are new, subscribe as well. If you guys did enjoy this, I will be back with Week 7. Next week, actually, going to be going against the Mississippi Machamps and John Mark, which has a very threatening draft, especially with his few changes actually made over the last few weeks. A bit threatening, but other than that, though, I hope you guys enjoy this. See you guys next week. Peace.